Why do so many people struggle to live past 80? It's not just about illness or genetics. It's about small, quiet habits that chip away at our health without us realizing it. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 surprising reasons why older adults often don't make it to 80, and more importantly, what you can do to change that. These aren't scare tactics. They're stories, observations, and lessons I've lived through and learned from people around me. The kind of wisdom no one puts in a medical chart. If you care about aging with strength, purpose, and clarity, this video is for you. Let's begin. Reason number 1, subtle decline in mobility that goes unnoticed. Why is it that so many people, even the ones who seem relatively healthy, never make it past 80? The answer isn't always dramatic. It's not usually one big thing. More often, it's small shifts, subtle, almost invisible changes that build up over time. I know this because I've seen it happen, not just to strangers, but to people I've known and loved. Let me tell you about a man I once worked with, Jack. He was sharp, friendly, always full of energy in his 60s. Retired at 67, traveled a bit, took care of his grandkids. But by 72, I noticed he was slowing down. He didn't talk about it. Most men don't, but I could see it. He stopped walking his usual loop around the neighborhood, said it was getting too cold even when it wasn't. At gatherings, he sat more, moved less. When he got up from a chair, it took longer. He grunted more, braced himself more, nothing dramatic, just subtle decline. By 74, he needed a cane. Not because of any specific injury, just general weakness. He said, "I guess this is what getting old looks like." At 76, he fell, broke his hip, he never fully recovered, and he never made it to 80. That story still weighs on me, not because Jack did anything wrong, but because that slow slide is so common. It sneaks up. You don't notice it until your world has already shrunk. And here's the truth that most people miss. Mobility is longevity. If you want to live a long life, not just years on the calendar, but quality in your days, you have to keep moving. Not running marathons, not lifting weights, just moving. Daily, mindfully, purposefully. The body was made to move. And the moment we start treating stillness as normal, we're writing the end of our own story. Now, I'm not judging anyone who's dealing with pain or stiffness. I've been there. My knees creak. My back has seen better days, but I've also learned that not moving makes it worse. We think rest will help. Sometimes it does. But long-term rest, the kind that keeps us in the recliner all afternoon, the kind that says, "I'll walk tomorrow," that kind of rest is a trap. Because the muscles we don't use, they don't just pause, they disappear. And when they go, so does our strength, our balance, our ability to catch ourselves when we stumble. That's how falls happen. That's how we lose independence. You want to know what shortens more lives than most people realize? It's not cancer, it's not heart disease, it's that first major fall, the one that sends you to the hospital, the one that turns your bed into a prison. And often it starts years earlier with small changes in mobility we ignore. So what can we do? Start small, start now. No matter how old you are, no matter how long it's been since you had a routine. Stand up from your chair and sit back down 5 times slowly. That's a squat. Do it again tomorrow. Add another round next week. Take a walk around your house, your block, your garden. Use a cane or walker if you need to. Just keep moving, stretch, reach. Rotate your ankles while you sit. Roll your shoulders, keep the body loose even in small ways. Because when you move, you tell your brain, we're still in this. When you move, your circulation improves. Your digestion works better, your lungs expand, your mood lifts. And here's the real miracle: movement helps you want to live longer. It reminds you that you're still capable. If this is starting to make sense, and you're feeling that nudge in your spirit, I'd be grateful if you liked this video and subscribed to Glowing Age. We're building a space for people who want to age well, not by luck, but by wisdom. Don't let mobility fade without a fight. You don't have to be an athlete, you just have to keep moving. Because when you stop using your body, it starts to forget what it was made for. And I don't know about you, but I've still got things to do. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for the remote or sit down with your coffee, stand up, stretch, walk a few steps. Remind your body it still has a job to do. And do that every day. Because movement isn't just good for you, it may be the very thing that helps you live past 80 and still feel like you. Reason number 2, long-term dehydration and poor hydration habits. Most people don't think about water when they think about aging. They think about knees, memory, pills, diet, but not water. And yet dehydration, slow, quiet, daily dehydration, is one of the most common, most underestimated threats to our health as we age. I didn't take it seriously either. For years, I'd have a cup of coffee in the morning, maybe a glass of iced tea at lunch, and sometimes a sip of water with dinner. I wasn't thirsty, So I figured I was fine, but I wasn't fine. I was tired more often. My joints hurt more than they should. My digestion was off. I felt lightheaded when I stood up too fast. And then one day I fainted, right in my own kitchen, scared the daylights out of my wife. Turned out it wasn't anything dramatic. Just dehydration. You see, as we age, our sense of thirst gets weaker. The brain doesn't always send the signal. So we don't drink, not because we don't need it, but because we don't feel like we need it. And over time, that lack of water chips away at everything. Dehydration thickens the blood. It strains the heart. It slows down kidney function. It makes your skin dry, your muscles cramp, your memory foggy. And worst of all, you won't always notice it happening. I once heard a doctor say that by the time you feel thirsty, you're already behind. And for older folks, that gap is even more dangerous. Let me tell you what finally turned it around for me. A friend of mine, another older guy like me, said, "I don't drink when I'm thirsty, I drink by the clock." That stuck with me. Now I keep a small glass near my chair and sip every hour. I start my day with water before coffee. I take a few sips before each meal, not big gulps, just steady intake. And let me tell you, the difference is real. My energy is better. My skin feels less dry. I don't wake up in the middle of the night with leg cramps anymore. Dehydration was dragging me down quietly day by day. But hydration, it brought me back. So here's what I'd tell anyone over 60, don't wait until you're thirsty. Don't think that tea or coffee counts because caffeine makes you lose water. And don't assume your body will just figure it out. Make drinking water part of your routine, like brushing your teeth, like taking your meds. If you need help remembering, set a timer. Use a chart, keep a pitcher nearby, make it easy. And if your urine is dark yellow, that's your warning sign. If this is the kind of reminder you've been needing, or maybe didn't even realize you needed, take a second to like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. Sometimes it's the smallest habits that make the biggest difference. Staying hydrated won't solve every problem, but it will support every part of you from your heart to your brain to your joints. It'll keep you moving, thinking, healing. And over time, that could be what helps you live not just longer, but better. So drink the water. Even when you're not thirsty, especially when you're not thirsty, your body and your future will thank you for it. Reason number 3, over-reliance on medications without lifestyle adjustments. There's a silent belief that many people carry after 60, and it's a dangerous one. It goes something like this: my doctor has me covered. I just take my pills. I get it, I used to think the same way. If a specialist gave me a prescription, I took it. If my blood pressure or cholesterol looked okay with meds, I figured I was doing my part. And for a while, it seemed like enough. But here's what no one told me. Medications without lifestyle change are like patching a leak without fixing the roof. They hide the damage, but the problem keeps growing underneath. I remember meeting a man named Ed at a senior lunch group, 75 years old. He carried a zippered pouch filled with pill bottles, blood pressure meds, blood sugar meds, cholesterol meds, sleep aids, painkillers. One for his stomach, one for his nerves, and one to counteract the side effects of all the others. He told me, "I've got a pill for everything. I'm set." But he wasn't. Ed moved slowly. He was exhausted. His appetite was gone. His memory was fading, and yet every number on his medical chart was controlled. His body was being managed, but not supported, because medication is a tool, not a solution. Most people die before 80 not from one big crisis, but from years of dependence on pills without adjusting the habits that caused the need in the first place. That's what shocked me most when I started learning about this. We take medications for high blood pressure, but we don't walk. We take pills for blood sugar, but keep eating the same way. We use sleep aids, but don't unplug from screens or caffeine before bed. Eventually, the body says, enough. The liver gets overworked. The kidneys start to struggle, and side effects pile up until they become their own diagnosis. Now, let me be clear, I'm not against medication. Some of it is essential. It saved lives, including mine. But what changed my perspective was learning to ask one simple question. What is this pill trying to fix, and what can I do to support that change myself? When I started walking more regularly, I was able to cut back on my blood pressure meds. When I stopped eating late at night, my reflux went away. When I focused on real sleep habits, I didn't need that second sleep aid anymore. That's not a miracle, that's effort. That's reclaiming ownership of my body, not just outsourcing it to prescriptions. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be involved. Every time you take a pill, think of it as a bridge. It's helping you get to the other side. But it's not meant to be the destination. You still have to walk. If you've got a medicine cabinet full of prescriptions and you're not sure what's helping, what's hurting, or what you could be doing differently, bring it up. Talk to your doctor. Ask for a medication review. And more importantly, ask yourself, am I doing anything to help my body heal, or am I just managing the symptoms? If this kind of perspective helps you feel more empowered, not scared, but informed, please like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. It means the world to keep building this conversation with people who truly care about aging well. Don't let your health be something that happens to you. Be part of the solution. Walk more, eat better, breathe deeper, sleep sounder. The meds may be part of your story, but they don't have to be the whole book. And the more you take care of the root causes, the more likely you are to make it past 80 on your feet with clarity and in control. Reason number 4, gradual loss of cognitive engagement. There's something I've noticed in myself and in a lot of people around my age. It happens slowly, almost quietly. We stop challenging our minds. It starts with retirement. The structure disappears. No more daily decisions at work, no deadlines, no problem solving, and at first it feels like freedom. But before long, that freedom becomes a kind of fog. A soft settling into comfort zones. Crosswords, television, the same conversations, the same routine. Don't get me wrong, routine can be a blessing. But when it becomes a mental rut, it's dangerous, because the brain is like a muscle. And like any muscle, if you stop using it, it starts to weaken. I saw it happen with my neighbor, Jean. After her husband passed, she stayed home most days. She stopped going to her book club, stopped helping at church. Said she just wasn't up for it. Within a year, she seemed like a different person. She still knew who she was, but her memory slipped more often. She struggled to find words. She repeated the same stories, sometimes just minutes apart. Her doctor said it wasn't dementia, it was disuse. Just like how the legs weaken when we stop walking, the mind does too. And here's the thing. Many people who never make it past 80 don't die from disease. They fade. They stop engaging. Their world shrinks until there's not much left to hold on to. But I've seen the opposite too. There's a man in my writing group, 84 years old. Every week he brings in a new poem, handwritten. He's learning how to use a tablet. He's taking an online course about world history. Is it slower for him than it was at 50? Sure, but he's alive in a way that shows. His mind is awake, and studies back this up. Seniors who stay mentally active, reading, learning, creating, have lower risk of cognitive decline, less depression, and longer lives. So what can we do? Learn something new every month, anything. A recipe, a language, a historical fact. Teach someone something, share what you know, it helps you remember it better. Write. Letters, journals, short stories, it doesn't matter what, just express. Read. Not just news headlines, books, essays, biographies. Play games that make you think. Puzzles, chess, card games, trivia, and maybe most importantly, talk to people. Different people. Real conversations challenge your brain in ways screens never can. If you're watching this and realizing your mind isn't being stretched much these days, that's not a failure. It's an opportunity. Start today, pick up a pen, ask a question. Try something that makes you a little uncomfortable. That's how we grow. And if this kind of message is what you've been looking for, something honest, something that respects the life you've lived and the brain you still have, I'd love for you to like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. We're building something that keeps us sharp together. Because your brain hasn't given up on you, don't give up on it. Challenge it, use it, celebrate it. It just might be the key to reaching 80 and beyond, not just in years, but in wisdom, memory, and light. Reason number 5, dismissal of minor symptoms that signal bigger issues. It's not always the big emergencies that shorten our lives. Sometimes it's the small symptoms, the ones we ignore, that do the most damage. You know what I mean. That bit of heartburn you brush off as just a heavy dinner. That slight shortness of breath you chalk up to age. That fatigue that seems to hang around, but you figure it's just part of slowing down. I've been there. I once ignored a tightness in my chest for 2 full weeks. Told myself it was probably muscle strain. Maybe I'd slept funny. I didn't want to bother the doctor, didn't want to seem dramatic. Turns out it was angina, a warning sign from my heart, a quiet one. But if I hadn't gone in when I did, the next warning could have been a full heart attack. That moment changed how I treat my body's signals. After 60, we don't get the same warning lights we used to. Pain is duller. Illnesses are sneakier. And if we keep brushing off every small change, we may miss the signs that something serious is brewing. I knew a woman, Ruth, who kept getting dizzy in the morning. She thought she was just dehydrated, but it wasn't that. It was her blood pressure dropping too low from a new medication. She ended up fainting, breaking her arm. Here's the truth, your body is talking. Are you listening? We're so used to toughing it out, to saying, I'm fine. But the strongest thing you can do after 60 is not to power through. It's to get curious. Curious about why your feet are swelling, why you're not sleeping, why you're losing weight without trying, why you're not hungry like you used to be, or why that pain keeps coming back in the same place. No one knows your body better than you. So trust your instincts and act on them. See your doctor when something feels off. Write it down. Keep a symptom journal if you need to. And don't let anyone brush you off, not even yourself. Because early detection is still the best medicine. And the people who live longer are often the ones who ask questions early, not late. And if you're finding value in this message, if it reminds you to take yourself seriously and tune in, not out, I'd be honored if you liked this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. We're here to age with attention and intention. Don't be afraid of what you might find. Be afraid of not looking. Because small symptoms are like whispers. And if we don't listen to whispers, the body starts to shout. And by then it might be too late. So ask, investigate, care. You're not being dramatic, you're being wise. And that wisdom might just carry you into your 80s and well beyond. Reason number 6, the danger of feeling finished. There's one more reason people quietly stop living before they reach 80, and it has nothing to do with illness. It has everything to do with the belief that their best days are behind them. This mindset doesn't show up overnight. It creeps in little by little. Maybe after retirement, after the kids move far away, after the loss of a spouse or a close friend. Life gets quieter, days get slower. And at some point, the spark fades. You stop planning for the future. You stop starting new things. You stop feeling like you matter. And even if your body is still functioning, something else inside you starts to wither. I remember a man from our community who used to build furniture in his garage. Beautiful stuff, tables, chairs, shelves. After his wife passed, he stopped. Said it just didn't feel worth it anymore. He still got up, still ate his meals, still smiled when we waved. But there was no life behind the smile. Within 2 years, he was gone, not from disease, from disconnection. That's the unspoken danger of feeling finished. We think aging means winding down. Slowing down is natural, but shutting down? That's a choice, and a dangerous one. Because when you stop seeing the road ahead, your body follows. It loses its drive, its alertness, its reason. But I've also seen the opposite. I know a woman who started painting at 78, just small pieces at first. She'd never picked up a brush in her life. But it gave her something to look forward to, somewhere to pour her thoughts. Now she has a wall in her home covered in art. She's 86. I met a man at 82 who took a part-time job at a local school library. He helps kids find books, tells them stories. He says it's the best part of his week. What do they have in common? They still believe they have something to give, and that belief is powerful. Because purpose, no matter how small, keeps the engine running. It doesn't have to be a job, it doesn't have to earn money, but it does have to give you something to aim at. Something that says there's more to do. So ask yourself, what still stirs you? What could you create, share, build, or explore? Even the smallest effort counts. Write a letter, plant a flower, learn a recipe, tell your story, teach someone what life has taught you. Purpose isn't about being busy. It's about being engaged. And if this is hitting close to home, if part of you has felt like the best is behind you, I want to tell you something, it isn't. If you woke up today, there's still something here for you. You're not finished. You're still needed, still valued. You made it this far, that means you're still in the story. Keep writing it. The path to 80 and beyond isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. Now you know what to look out for. The slow decline in movement, the quiet dehydration, the overuse of meds without lifestyle change, the mental fog of underused minds, and the emotional shutdown that comes from feeling like you're done. You're not done. If this video helped you reflect or make a small decision that might extend your life, or the life of someone you love, please like it and subscribe to Glowing Age. And tell me in the comments, which of these 5 surprised you the most? What's one habit you're ready to change? You don't need to add years just to survive. You deserve years that still feel alive. Let's keep walking that path together.